method, because instead.
Good morning. So in the previous classes, we have discussed about the database connectivity. So in order to connect the database through Java program, we need a JDBC driver. So each database has its own JDBC drivers. So MySQL has its own JDBC driver and Oracle has its own JDBC driver. So depending upon the database you are using, you have to download the respective JDBC driver. So if you, after downloading the JDBC driver, we have to set the path. We have to set the class path. Class path for the JDBC driver .jar file. We have to create the class path. We have to add the environment variable class path as JDBC driver .jar file. So whenever you add the JDBC driver .jar file, then only the program will connect to the database. So the ultimate goal of this database connectivity is through our Java applications, we want to connect to the database and we can perform any type of data management operations. We can apply any DML commands or DDL commands or any transaction commands. Anything can be applied. Anything can be retrieved from the database also. So in order to retrieve the database, we need three things. First, we have to know the database name. We have to know the database name and location. That means database URL. So to perform anything regarding the database, we need URL. URL means the location of the database and the database name. So the database server consists of so many databases. So we need to connect to a single database. So that is here we have created the database student data. That is our database name. So this is the location of the database URL. So this we have to know. Then after knowing the address of the database, we have to look into the database. That means we have to enter into the database. For that we need username and password. For that you need username and password. So we have to know the username of the database as well as the password of the database. So these things are we must know before accessing the database. So after that, every JDBC driver has its own name. So MySQL JDBC driver has the driver's name is this one, com.mysql.cj.jdbc.driver. So this is the JDBC driver name, MySQL JDBC driver name. So for Oracle, there is a different name. For DB2, there is a different name. So we have to identify the name of the driver. We have to properly mention the name of the driver. So these things we have to know in prior. So after that, in order to perform these things in the programming, we need three interfaces or three classes. First one, connection class, statement class. Third one is result set class, RS class, result set class, statement class, and then connection class. So by using the connection class, we can establish the connection to the database. Next, statement class, statement interface. That means by using the statement interface, we can write the queries. After establishing the connection, we have to access the database. That can be performed through the SQL commands. So in order to implement the SQL commands, we need statement interface, or we can use the prepared statement interface. We have two ways: by using the statement and by using the prepared statement. Either of these two can be used to access the to write the queries. So after writing the query, we have to execute the query. So for execution, we have so many methods: execute query, execute update. Like that, we have so many methods. We can use any of the method to execute the query. So after executing the query, we can get the result. So the result can be stored in the result set object. Result set is an interface. We can create an object of type result set. So the result will be stored in the RS. So the result can be processed accordingly. So that is the main theme of the database connectivity through the Java application program. So we have seen we have created the tables. We have created the table by using the Java program. We have inserted the values into the table by using the Java application. We have written the code to insert the values into the table, and we have updated the data, updated the table, and then we are going to see the deletion of the tuple, deletion of the row. So these statements are common for everything, every program. All these statements: import statement, URL, driver, username, password, main method, creation of the connection object, statement object, result set object. So these are the common. So we are placing it everything in the try catch block. So in the try catch block, we can register our driver through this statement, class.forName, class.forName. Next, we can establish the connection by using the get connection method. Get connection method is available in the driver manager class. So these statements are common for every program. So to establish the connection, this is the statement you have to write. Next, we have to write the queries. To write the queries, we need a statements. So we have created the statement object, and we are creating the statement, create statement. By using the create statement, we can create the statement. So if you use the prepare statement, means we can use the prepare statement here, not create statement. Prepare statement, prepared statement, PST is equal to con dot prepare statement. The prepare statement is the method. So here we can write the queries. So to delete the a tuple from the table, the delete command is, syntax of the SQL is delete from table. So we are going to delete the, tuple from the subject choice, and let us see the ID. So this is the subject choice. The ID is 105. Let us delete this one. ID is 105. So before, see the database. See the database here. So we are going to delete this 105 value. Let us see whether it is updated in the database or not. Before executing this program, the table is like this. The table consists of 105, Priya Sharma 44. That is the tuple. So now we are going to delete that tuple, delete that row where ID is equal to 105. So we are going to delete one row. So that is the syntax. And then after writing the query, we will execute that query, execute update. After that, we can write the catch block. So let us execute this one. Javac delete data.java. So no errors. Let us see the output. So deleted tuples. So executed successfully. Let us check in the database. Select star from student choice. Select star from student choice. So what is the table name? Subject choice, not student's choice. The table name is subject choice. Select star from subject choice. So the table is not updated. Subject choice. We have deleted the 105. So let us see what happened. So program is not saved. So let us save the program. So program is saved. Let us compile this program again. Javac delete dot Java delete data. Let us check in the database. So see here. So previously we have the tuple, this one 105 tuple. So after deletion, we don't have the 105 tuple here. That row is deleted here. So this entire row is deleted. So we have deleted this row by using the delete command. Delete from subject choice where id is equal to 105. So whenever the we find the id value is 105, that row has to be deleted. So that row is deleted here. That is updated here. So this is the output. So this is how you can delete the tuples. We can perform anything, any update operation, everything can be performed. So this is the deletion. We have seen the creation of the table. We have seen the insertion of the table, insertion of the values, and then we have seen the retrieving also, retrieving the values, and then we have seen the updation of the data, and then we have seen the deletion of the data, and then we have seen the result set and result set metadata also, metadata interface. And then next concept is batch processing. So next concept is batch processing. So batch processing is nothing but a we can perform the multiple queries at a time. So here we in up to now we have executed only single query. We have executed the single query. So there is a situations where we have to execute the multiple queries at a time. Multiple queries at a time. So there is a possibility in Java. That concept is known as batch processing. How do you perform the batch processing? That means how do you perform the multiple queries to be executed at a time? So that can be possible by using the some methods. So let us see the methods. So batch processing. So there are we can use the two methods to perform the batch processing. Those are add batch. Next one, execute batch. So add batch. So after writing the query, we can add that queries to the add batch method. So we can use the add batch method, and then after that we have to execute the query. So for execution of the batch files, batch queries, we can perform the execute batch method. So to perform the JDBC batch processing, we have the two methods. First one is add batch, second one is execute batch. So by using these two things, we can perform the batch processing. So it is nothing but a simply execution of the multiple queries. So let us see. So let us see the program regarding the batch processing. So first one, so I have imported all the package, SQL package, IO package, and util package. All the packages I have imported, and then this is my main class. Batch process is my main class. So same program, same. I am defining the URL. I am defining the driver. I am defining the username and password. And then this is my main method. So it throws some exceptions, SQL exceptions, class not found exception, and then there may be a possibility of IO exception also. So I am throwing the 3 exception classes. Then connection object and prepare statement object. So here I am using the prepared statement instead of statement. So to write the queries, we will use the statement class. We can use the statement interface. So here we are using the prepared statement. So prepared statement. So let us see how we can implement the prepared statement. By using the prepared statement, how we can write the queries. So let us see that one. So let us see the try block. So I am registering the driver here, class.forName, and then I am establishing the connection through the get connection method, same as previous programs. And then I am writing the query. So for writing the queries, we can use the statements. So we have different types of statements. So general statement and then prepared statement. So I have created the object reference prepared statement PS. So see here prepared, but method is prepare statement. Here the method is prepare statement. Here method is prepare statement, not prepared statement. Not prepared statement. See the here. Interface name is prepared statement. Method name is prepare statement. So in the statement, if you use the statement means statement, uh, statement st we will use the object. So here yes connection dot create statement. So if you use the statement means we will use the create statement method. If you use the prepared statement means we can use the prepare statement method. So here we can write the queries within the braces. We can have the SQL variable, or we can directly write the query in the parenthesis itself. So here the query is inserting the values into the table. Insert into subject choice, that is the table name. General syntax, to insert a values into the table we can use the syntax insert into table name values. So here I have not given the values here. I have placed the placeholder. Question mark. I have used the question mark. So subject choice has 4 columns. Subject choice table has 4 columns. That's why I have used the 4 placeholders. We can call it as the placeholders. So we can use the question mark here. So in place of question mark, we can use the any type of the tuple. Sita, first name, last name, and subject choice. Next Ram. So at a time we can execute these so many queries. At a time we can insert these so many values. So that can be possible only in the prepared statement. So by using the prepared statements, we can implement this concept, placeholders. So if you use the statements, we don't have this concept. So if you use the prepared statements, we can have the placeholders. There is a possibility of using the placeholders. So this is the placeholder. Then I am defining the so check here. So I am going to insert the values through the keyboard. That means we can use the scanner class or buffer reader class or input stream reader. We have so many ways to read the content from the keyboard. So generally we will use the scanner method. So it is not an effective way to use the scanner method. Initially for starting stage, we can use the scanner method. So afterwards, if you're writing the programs effectively, we can use the buffer reader method, buffer reader class, or we can use the input stream reader class. So we can use these any of these three input reader method classes. So generally we will use the scanner class. So scanner, I have creating the object br new scanner system.in. That means through the object br we are going to access the we are going to give the inputs to through the keyboard. That means we are going to insert these values, id, first name, last name, subject. So those values can be inserted through the keyboard. So for that purpose, we are going to use some methods, util package methods. So in order to access those methods, we need an object. So that's why I have created the object br. So through this object, I am going to access the methods. So while of true, so that means I want to repeat this till the input is true. That means we can insert the values. We can insert the 10 values, 20 values, 30 values, like that. Any number of values can be inserted if you give the placeholders here. So for that purpose, I am going to repeat this one. So here true means at the end of this code, I have written some termination condition. So based on that, this while loop will be executed. So check here. So see here. So I'm going to enter the value of ID here. I'm going to enter the value of ID. So I have given some printf statement, and then so how can you access the value from the keyboard? br.nextInt. Whether it is the integer value, we can use the nextInt method. So that can be stored in the S1. That value must be stored in the S1. Next, I'm going to print the first name. So first name is a string. So we can use the method next, br.next. That can be stored in the S2. Next, we are going to enter the last name. That can be stored in the S3. We are going to enter the subject. That is also string. That is stored in the next. So this is how we can give the values through the keyboards. So this is repeated. This can be repeated. That means we are not going to enter the single value, single row. We are going to enter the, we are going to insert the multiple values. That's why I have used the while loop. So here I am setting the a table. That means PS. PS is the prepared statement object. That query ps.setInt. SetInt 1 2 3 4. This is the numbering is for which value has to be printed first. That is first column, second column, third column, fourth column. So first column is placed in the S1. That means S1 value is placed in the first column. S2 value is placed in the second column. S3 value is placed in the third column. S4 value is placed in the fourth column. So this statement has to be given. That means we have entered the values. So the entered values are ordered. That can be done through the set string methods. So these methods are there in the prepared statement class. Next one, we have to use the add batch. So this is a batch processing. That means we are executing the queries. We are executing the multiple queries at a time. So that can be possible by using the add batch method. So to execute the batch files, you can use the execute batch method. Then I am writing some printf statement. Press yes or no for record insertion. So the termination, you have to give the termination condition, or else the loop will be repeated infinite times. For that purpose, I am using the br.next. If you type the yes means next loop will be iterated. If you type the n means the loop will be terminated. For that purpose, I am going to take the value from the keyboard by using the object br.next. That can be stored in the k. So here I am writing the condition. If k dot equals to n, if you press the n, then that means that is the termination condition. Then break. That means if you press n means next tuple will not be executed. If you type s means next tuple will be inserted. So this is how you can write the batch files. So then some printf statements and catch block. So this is how you can perform the batch processing. So by using the prepared statements, we can perform the batch processing. So to execute the batch files, you can use the add batch method. To execute the batch files, you can use the execute batch method. Let us compile this one and save this one first. Javac batch process. So Javac batch process.java, no errors. So connecting to the database, creating the table in the database. So enter ID. So here the cursor is blinking. That means we are going to enter the value from the keyboard. So that can be performed by using the scanner class. br.nextInt. So I am giving the ID as 1110. I am giving the ID as 1110. Next, first name as Radha. Last name is Krishna. Enter subject. Subject is MOOCs for something. Entered. So then I have written the termination condition, whether you have to enter the another row. So that can be possible by using, if you press S means we can, let us see, if you press Y means successfully saved, and enter ID. Next row can be inserted. 4 ones. I'm going to enter the values. Sada Siva. Enter the subject. C++. Enter ID 3112. First name. Subject. So here, if you don't want to enter anything, then press N. Then the program is terminated. The program will be terminated. That means, let us see the updates in the database. So see here, we have inserted the 3 rows. 1110, 1111, 1112. They have inserted the 3 rows that can be updated here. The three rows are updated here. So that means we are executing the multiple queries at a time. So this is the batch 1, batch 2. First row is batch 1, second row is batch 2, third row is batch 3. We are executing the 3 batch files at a time, 3 queries at a time, by using the add batch method and execute batch method. So this is how we can perform the batch processing. So this is the program to illustrate the batch processing. Next one, transaction processing. So next one is transaction processing. So in the database, we can get the transactions. That means transactions means a transaction is nothing but a group of statements. So that means a transaction is nothing but a group of statements. So if you want to perform any transaction, means the transaction has some transaction properties, ACID properties. I think you know the ACID properties. So here the main thing is, if you perform transaction, means the transaction must be executed or does not execute. Suppose if you have the transaction like this, I have the transaction T1 like this. Transaction as A plus B, C plus D, A minus N. So like that, I have so many statements. So all these all these 3 statements can be part of the transaction. So if the transaction means, if the transaction is executed, if you say the transaction is executed, means all these statements has to be executed. All these statements has to be executed. If the transaction is successful, means all these statements has to be executed. Or after executing the one statement, if you lost the power, means remaining 2 statements are not executed. That means there is a ambiguity whether the transaction is executed or not. So to overcome that ambiguity, there is a concept called where we have to follow the ACID properties. That means here the rule is, if you perform the transaction, means the transaction must be complete. Either the transaction is completed entirely or the transaction is not completed at all. That means if the transaction is completed, means all the sub statements has to be executed, or all the statements has not executed. So that must be ensured while performing the operations in the transaction. So here we to maintain the concurrency, we will use the commit statements, commit and rollback. I think you know the commit statements and rollback statements. So by default, we can set the commit as true by default. By default, if you don't perform anything, means the commit statement is set to true. So if you want to change the commit value, means we can use the set auto commit false. Initially we will have the value as true. If you want to change that value, means we can use the set auto commit false. So here, when two or more statements are required to be grouped into a transaction, that means auto commit mode is disabled. That means we have to make this as false. So for two or more stored, if you have the more than one statement means we need to perform the auto commit as false. We have to change the auto commit value as false. So for this purpose, we have the three methods. First one is set auto commit, commit and rollback. We have the commit method and we have the rollback method. We have the commit method and we have the rollback method. So along with this, we have the set auto commit method also. So set auto commit means we can change the default value to the false. By default, everything is auto set to commit. That means all the transaction has to be executed. Commit means that transaction has to be executed. So let us see the program. So see here, same, I have imported the packages. I have given the URL, driver name, username, password, main method. So connection object, prepared statement object and statement object. I am using the statement object also here. Then I am going try catch block. In the try catch block, I have to register the driver and then I have to establish the connection. That is okay. So after connection establishing, I am going to set the auto commit value as false. By default, it is true. So here I have three or more statements to execute it. That means all the three after executing all the three statements, we have to commit. So that's why I am making this auto commit value as false. Then I am using the prepared statement. So I am using some insertion values, insert into subject values. So same thing as above. And then I am setting the values as like this ps.setInt. So first row is ID value. So the ID I have given is 302. So let us change this ID as 3021. Next ps.setString. Second column value is I am giving the value Arya. Third value is Vardhan. Fourth subject value is PMV. So next I am executing the statement ps.execute update. I am executing the update. So next I am using, I am going to give some input values through the keyboard. That's why I am using the scanner class, BR object. Next, so whether we have to perform commit or not, commit or undo, commit or rollback. For that purpose, if you press the commit means the transaction is committed. If you press undo means the transaction is rollbacked. So for this purpose, I am using the BR. So here BR.next, whatever the value, whatever the string you will give, that can be stored in the answer string. So whether if I am checking if the answer dot equals is equal to commit. If it is commit, then connection dot commit. The commit we can commit the transaction. Else we can roll back the transaction. We have the two methods, commit method and rollback method. If all the statements are executed, then we can commit the transaction or we can roll back the transaction. So let us see. So that is the concept of commit and rollback. Next, I am using the general statement, create statement. I am using the select star from subject choice. Just I am using the, again, I am going to retrieve the values from the table. That means whether the values are inserted or not. To know the values are inserted or not, just I am using another query. So result set rs execute. I am executing that query, and then I am printing the ID value, first name value, last name value, and subject value. So this can be printed up to the entire table has to be printed. That's why I have given the rs.next. So first one is ID, getInt ID. Second one is getString first name, last name, subject. So all these things can be stored in the ID, first name, last name, subject. So I am printing the ID, first name, last name, and subject. So here I am going to print the table. Here I am going to print the entire table of the, what is this table? Subject choice. I am going to print the subject choice. So for this purpose, I have taken the statement object, st object. Then catch statement. So here I am performing the commit and rollback. So after performing the commit, we are going to check the table. After performing the rollback, we are going to check the table. So that is the idea of this program. Let us execute this one. Let us save this one first. Let us save this one. Java C. Program name is transaction process .java. No errors. So let us execute this program. So the cursor is prompting there. So you have to press either commit or undo. So I am performing the commit operation. So that means this value is entered. So check the table. 3021. We have entered the value 3021 Arya Vardhan PMV. So this value is entered, committed. That means the transaction is successful. So let us make this 3022. 3022. Change the tuple values, save the program, and compile the program, execute the program. So now I am going to press the undo. Now I am going to press the undo. Let us see what happens. I have rolled back. So the transaction is rolled back. That means the tuple is not inserted here. 3022. So we don't have the tuple 3022. So if you give the commit means, then we get the value 3022. If you perform the commit means, we get the 3022. So let us say perform undo. What happens? So already transaction is executed successfully. If you give the undo means there is no meaning. So this is the commit and rollback. So this is the transaction processing. So any doubts in this? So in today's class, we have discussed about the batch processing and transaction processing. Batch processing and transaction processing through the Java program, we can perform everything in the database. So any doubts in this? So this is the end of the 5th unit. So we have completed the Java programming successfully. So let us see, check the syllabus once again. So if anyone want to give the seminars, you can contact me. You can message me. So in coming classes, we can, if you want to give the seminars, you can freely contact me, or you can give some presentation regarding the topics, anything you want. So let us see. So in the 5th unit, so yeah, we are doing the Java database connectivity. In this, we have seen the JDBC architecture We have seen the installing the MySQL and MySQL connector /j, that is the driver. And then we have seen the JDBC environment setup, and we have seen the establishing the JDBC connection. We have seen that 7 steps, and then result set interface. We have seen the result set interface and programs also. Then creating the JDBC application. So in this, we have seen the creation of the table, insertion of the tuples, deletion, updation, everything we have seen. And then we have seen the JDBC batch processing and JDBC transaction management. So this is the end of the Java programming. So if anyone want to give the seminars, you can contact me. So I want one seminar on the topics input stream reader and buffered reader. So every time we are using the scanner class only. Every time we are using the scanner class only, but we are not using the input stream reader as well as buffered reader. So by using anyone want to give the seminar on these two topics, you can contact me. So, okay, thank you.